As the sun alights a new day, the rattle of rising heavy metal doors breaks through the silence. And as lights flicker on, casting their fluorescent glows, and vehicles roll out of garage bays, Family Car Care Center awakens.
Here at Family Car Care Center, we do all kinds of repair work. We do state inspections, tires, mount and balance. We have all the diagnostic equipment and computer systems to test and fix whatever.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Good.
My car needs an oil change. Can we do that today?
Absolutely.
Whether you call them mechanics, grease monkeys, or gearheads, Family Car Care Center in Fort Worth has the right guys to put you back on the road. And keeping the cogs of this shop running smoothly is owner and mechanic Ben Fields.
How did you become a mechanic?
I think it started with me and my brother-in-law, or ended up being my brother-in-law. He had his brother's 65 Chevy Impala SS, and he was determined to restore it. So as, 17, 18-year-old kids, we were on this adventure to restore the Impala.
Why do you like doing that?
I just like working with my hands and fixing something. It's kind of a guy thing, but you see something broke, you're supposed to fix it.
But unlike typical repair shops, Ben's fix-it philosophy goes far beyond his customers' cars. One day he looked around and realized there was a problem in his community. While many people had vehicles, sometimes multiple, for others having their own transportation was, well, an unattainable goal. So Ben rolled up his sleeves and decided to not just fix cars, but to give them away to those who desperately needed help.
It is amazing how often people do discount that their cars wore out, and to you it might be. You might feel like, well, this car is a piece of junk and I need to go buy me a new car. So that might be a fact in your reality, but that junk car to you is like a godsend and a blessing to somebody else, because there might be 2 or 3 years of life left in that car, and somebody might be able to continue maintaining their employment, taking care of their children, getting to doctor's appointments and activities and things in that car. It's a big deal. If we don't get cars donated, we're dead in the water. Somebody's willing to find it in their heart to bring us and give us a car. And we ask that they're in reasonable condition. We have a limit of $1,000 we can spend on fixing one, so we hope for it to be in decent shape.
A brand new to you car, a vehicle that was no longer needed, will now go to someone in need. It's a worthwhile effort on its own, but it's just part of an even bigger charity started by Ben and his wife Margaret, called Project-44.
Tell me about Project-44. What is it?
What Jesus told the disciples to do and what the disciples did when they started the church, that's in the book of Acts. So Project-44 is named for the 44th book of the Bible, which is the book of Acts. I was really intensely reading the Bible and really internalizing the things that I read in the Bible, and it's like I didn't see a whole lot of that mirrored in the function of the church. We're really good at huddling up, and we're good Christians, and let's sit on the same pew and sing our hymns and things, but we're supposed to be about the business of changing the world.
Well, before Ben knew it, that's exactly what Project-44 was doing. With more than 250 cars given away since they started back in 2008, you can't put a price on the value of these vehicles. They've changed people's lives, helping them to get jobs and take care of their families. But that's not enough for the Fields. When they're not working on cars, they're out tending to produce.
We were just listening and watching around what was happening in the world and noticed there was a real need to feed people, that people were hungry, couldn't afford fresh produce, and so we were called into food ministry.
From lettuce to squash and everything in between, the 7 acres known as 44 Farm grows fresh produce that's given away to hungry families. And once a month, they all gather together for a community dinner.
We do this as a way to build community, to build relationships. I've found that amazing things happen at the dinner table that don't happen anywhere else. Everyone is on the same level, sitting around having great conversation, enjoying great food, and just really being in the moment with one another. And it just helps to connect people to one another.
It's that human connection that makes the wheels turn at Project 44. They've heard countless stories about how, because of their work, lives have changed. And for some of their most at-risk clients, like Vietnam veteran Charlie Thedford, this project was the deciding factor between life and death.
Without transportation, I felt like I was caged. If you're caged up and you can't get out, you freely get out, you feel like there's nothing left. It's like saying, okay, Leon, I'm going to just lay down and die, but you're not. You're going through the motions, but you're not living. Because, there was a time there that I wouldn't even come out of the house, for 3 or 4 years there. I really didn't think I'd get any help at all. I'd lost hope. Now I feel like I can do something. And, Project 44 is opening the door again for me.
It is an honor and a blessing to be able to present you the key to this new to you truck.
Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless y'all.
And also you.
Though the grease-stained floors of the Family Car Care Center may be murky with oil, Ben and Margaret's goal for Project 44 couldn't be clearer. It's all about simply caring for others and giving back when you can. And at the end of the day, that's what they say it's all about. And they'll continue to do that for as long as they can, one mouth and one motor at a time.
What do you want people to take away from all of this? What's the overall message?
Well, look at us as an example of what's possible. There's nothing special about us. We say this all the time. I'm a mechanic. I'm a regular, ordinary mechanic. Margaret's got a counseling degree. We're just normal people, but we have stepped into what God's called us to do, and then all these amazing things have happened.
Oh, Charlie. You change the world one person at a time by making an impact on one person at a time, and then that person makes an impact with someone else, and it just carries forward. So I think that, it may seem like an impossible task to change the world, but when you really break it down to its most basic elements of just caring for one another, one person at a time, yeah, that absolutely can change the world.